I mean, it's Cooper Rush worth 2.5 points? I would hope Quinn Ewers put up a decent stat line against Arizona State. If he didn't, we have a real problem.
You can say the same thing about Creighton. Okay, they had the one good game against Kansas at home.
When Toast talks about the kicking market, it's like some earth is flat shit. Andy, true or false, this is going to be a dog walking.
Dog walking. This is my dog walking of the day. I think it's going to be very ugly. Dog walking. I think this is going to be ugly.
Hey, get the sauce. Hey, what's up, everybody? Happy Saturday morning to you all. For those of you that are watching on Saturday morning, we got college basketball, and I have a lot of work to do, so why don't we get right into it? Got some good games. For those of you that are new to college basketball, Saturday's the day. It's very similar to college football. Now, it doesn't really start until like January where we get into some really cool slates, but still some good ones right here. Alabama St. John's. This is a great game. Is that Madison Square Garden?
Yep, you know it.
Oh, Johnny's then, right?
Feel free. Alabama plus 6.5 for me. First and foremost, I'm just not I was never really big on St. John's last year. Everybody called me a hater.
Because you were
I don't
a hater.
think yeah, and how they do in the tournament, just like I said, not make it to the second weekend. So, just saying. So, I don't worry about St. John's defensively, especially with Pitino. I'll never really worry about that. But my issue is that I don't think they can still shoot. They didn't shoot free throws very well the first game.
They added a shooter. Everybody knows that.
It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, it doesn't matter.
So
they've been talking about missing shots for about 2 months now, whether they're being their exhibitions or their practices or whatever. This isn't anything new. And this is going to be the biggest test that St. John's going to see for a while, so maybe they get up for this game. But Alabama is about to start a stretch where they play St. John's, Purdue, Illinois, Gonzaga, UNLV, and Clemson, all back-to-back. I just think that this is a really good spot to jump on an Alabama team that I think is actually a little bit underrated right now. They're barely or just under a top 25 team right now, and they have multiple guys, whether it be Philon or Bull Bowen, or that 6'11" freshman. I can't pronounce his name, Colin Onyenwitaka, or however you say his name. But they're one of the biggest teams in the country. So I don't think that St. John's is going to have some huge rebounding advantage or an advantage defensively or anything like that. So it does suck that this game's in Madison Square Garden, but obviously it makes sense that people would want to bet the Johnnies. But for me, I'm getting an Alabama team that I think is just as good defensively, maybe not as good as the season goes along, but right now I think they're probably just as good defensively. But they're much better shooting team, especially from the free throw line. So if this game is close on 1 or 2 possessions, I'll take the team that shoots close to 80% from the field. I know it's only been one game as far as those free throw shootings are concerned, but it doesn't matter to me. Again, until I see a St. John's team that can actually get buckets and make free throws, I'm going to continue to fade them with these big numbers against upper level competition like Alabama.
That's a bad pick. Tell him, Trev.
Shocker.
It's kind of hard to go against the Johnnies and MSG. They've been a wagon there and I'm gonna kind of continue. One thing St. John's did really well against Quinnipiac was force turnovers, and Alabama turned 11 or so times against North Dakota. So I think St. John's gonna have a little bit of success on the offensive end, forcing some turnovers, just getting some and it's Pitino in the Garden. They get up for this. This place is going to be awesome. It's going to be a straight home game. Obviously, St. John's. I'm going to lay it. If it's down, I'll let it get bet down. John's or whatever.
Trevor, your voice is like repeating. It's like,
God damn it.
Yeah, I don't know what's wrong. It's like, I think they're going to have some success. Like every single word you're saying is repeating.
I thought it was just mine.
I was kind of wondering the same thing, Toast. It's better.
Spoon, this wasn't one of the games you... Oh, actually, is this one of your... This wasn't one of the games you checked, but do you have any thoughts, Spoon?
This is tough at this number. I think this is right there. You can still get 5.5 with St. John's. That's tempting.
It's going down then. I got 6.5 with Bama. Just wait, everybody. Just wait.
So the 5.5 has been available. That's a juiced minus 115. I think this goes the other way. I think it's probably going to be 7.5, 8.5 by tip tomorrow. And I think at that price, it's probably Alabama. Rick Pitino's owned Alabama throughout the course of his career. But I mean, the first big game in a season, Rick Pitino's like really an old school coach. I could see this being a building point game. Maybe they kind of struggle to put Alabama away. I think they find a way to win this game. I think they have a lot of advantages. They are going to be one of the best defensive teams in the country at the end of the season. I don't know if they're there right now, though. So some building points. Not enough to get me on there, but should be a great game. I think St. John's wins it, but Alabama probably keeps it under 10.
All right, let's move on to the next game, and we're passing it to Trevor.
Can you bet games at MSG, Kyle?
Yes.
It's because it's not your. Okay, my bad.
We're passing it over to Trevor, who selected Princeton Akron. So you have the floor, TV Jones. Why did you select this game?
Because I mean, Princeton, yeah, they've been solid the last few years. They've had a lot of success, but Xavier Lee is gone. He was the guy that the straw that stirred the drink in Princeton here in that offense. So now he's gone. He's in Florida. You got Akron returning majority of their starters, a lot of players from last year, a lot of minutes, a lot of continuity. And not to mention Princeton has 2 new assistant coaches. One of the assistant coaches was there for 12 years. Also, so they got a lot of change in the program during the offseason. So I think Akron's, they're playing really well. They somehow pulled that cover out of their ass the other night against James Madison. But this is going to be a significantly worse competition in Princeton than James Madison was. So give me Akron laying the 11. I think they just pulled the doors off of Princeton tomorrow.
TV Jones likes Akron. Either you guys have any thoughts, or should we move on to the next one?
It was a game that I when I saw TV Jones circle it, I was kind of excited to hear what he had to say. The only thing that threw me off in this game is that like Ken Pom, has this game 12. I just feel like that's still a lot of points with this Akron team. I'm not going to bet Princeton, but I have to see Akron play a really good, or at least a decent basketball game before I'm laying double digits with them personally. Right. But I can't make a case for Princeton to actually bet them.
All right, let's move on to the next one. And I didn't have a chance to get the Drexel one, Spoon. I saw you clicked it, but I had already made the graphics. Did you want to share your thoughts on Drexel St. Joe's real quick? They can't see it, but if you want to just shout it out.
Yeah, so this is the first of the Power 5 meeting there in Philadelphia. They have the 6 big schools all play each other. And I think just 9.5, 10 points is way too many points to be involved in that series. St. Joe's has a new coach coming over. I just think this is probably a tight game, comes down to 5 or 6 points at the end. St. Joe's does have a better roster. They do probably get the win, but 9.5 points, too many. That's got to be a 5 or 6 point game. Looking back the last 2 years of this contest, none of the first round games have been a double digit finish for any of the teams. And there's just so much turnover for that St. Joe's roster. It's a disrespectful price.
So Drexel plus 9.5 or 10 is your pick.
Yep. Can I add just one thing? Another reason that I like Drexel too is that I think that we're getting a little bit of a discount here. Or I'm sorry, I think that we're getting a little bit of an inflated number here because Toledo has played a game and they looked, not even great, but okay versus Lafayette. But I think that the change in pace for Drexel is going to keep them in this game. Drexel with Spiker likes to keep these games at a crawl, like 347th adjusted a tempo this year, 355 last year, 332 this year. They want to walk the ball up and down the court. So I lean under and I lean the dog in that one.
You both like Drexel. Spoon, we'll pass it right back to you.
That's a Philly 5 game though, right?
Yes.
Oh yeah, I like the under.
Oh, okay. So you both like Toast and Spoon like Drexel. TV Jones likes the under in the Drexel St. Joe's game. Marshall Toledo. Spoon, we know you're going to pick Toledo because you're a bona fide Toledo. You're a Toledo stan.
You could say I'm a Toledo fan. That's not really true, but I do have a lot of respect for the way that Todd Kowalczyk runs that program. And looking back, last 15 years, he hasn't dropped 2 home games in a row. And I just think this is going to be a really tough spot to have to face Marshall. If you saw Marshall in that first game, they played a really good game. I think this is a spot where, like, just numbers wise, breaking it down, it's really easy to take Marshall as a short favorite on the road, but I think Toledo finds a way to win this game. Like I said, 15 years in a row, he hasn't lost 2 home games. That roster looked really tough in the first few minutes of the game. I was sitting there live, and they couldn't find a way to get a bucket. But as the game went on, they got some freshmen to come off the bench. A kid came off the bench, played 30 minutes, hit 5 threes, 6 assists. So I think they found their starting point guard. I think this game looks a lot different. And I think Marshall's kind of overvalued after playing that really good game versus UMass, where they had the upset win. I think this is just a spot where Toledo should be laying quite a few more points. So Toledo minus 1.5.
Toledo. Neither of you guys checked this game. Any thoughts, or should we move on?
Over for me. What I'm waiting on seeing the number. I think I should probably jump on it tonight, but I know that Marshall didn't play at a very great, a huge. I'm sorry. I know that Marshall played at a really good pace last year and the year before that. And Toledo is one of these teams where they only had 64 possessions versus South Alabama. But like Spoon said, they really just couldn't find anything offensively. I think that they get a little bit of a break here with Marshall, on top of the fact Marshall likes to run really kind of fast, one of the top 50 teams in the tempo over the last few years. On top of that, Marshall turns the ball over a lot. And the best thing that I like, both these teams really good at shooting free throws. So I think this number gets, I think it's a reason that this number is 160. I think this gets up and over the total.
All right.
Yeah, Marshall turned it over 26 times against UMass and still won.
It was wild.
Just
26.
They have a 7'4" center.
Yeah. And, I mean, Toledo's got nobody of height, if I'm remembering correctly here. They got a 7-footer. He didn't play much. I'm just looking at the minutes from last game. I mean,
that Betatall kid's like 6'9" or whatever, but that's pretty much it. Yeah. And that Sanford kid's like 6'8", but they're not that big.
They got a little bit more than I thought.
All right, let's move on to the next one, which is Western Carolina Duke. Toast, you selected this game. 35.
Oh, yeah. I laid 34.5 with Duke. I'm going to continue to lay this number with this team until they give me a reason not to. I was really high on them going into the year. I know that they started off a little bit slow versus Texas, but once Boozer starts getting going, I think it's going to be really hard to slow him down, especially the next week and a half or so against Western Carolina and Army and Indiana State. So maybe there's a little bit different situation when they play Kansas on the neutral. But as we saw tonight with Kansas, they absolutely fell apart in the second half as well. So I don't know if that's Kansas or UNNC just getting really hot from deep and not missing a shot. But regardless, I think you can be more than comfortable laying these numbers with this bad competition with this Duke.
Either you guys have thoughts on Western Carolina Duke?
Yeah, I'd lay it.
Yeah, lay it with Duke.
Yeah, it's going to be a murder. I mean, Western Carolina turned it over a bunch. They're just it's you don't.
They lost by almost 40 points to Cincinnati, and they turned the ball over.
When you get 31 pieced by Cincy, that's yikes.
The kids sitting on Duke's bench wouldn't even open letters from Western Carolina.
Dead ass though, they wouldn't.
Hey, I just want to say, Santa Clara hit. That's an 11-4 day. 11-4.
Nicely done.
Yeah.
San Francisco, Memphis.
St. Mary's. I need St. Mary's for like a full unit day.
Nice.
Trevor, you like the Dons here?
Hell yeah, I like the Dons. I'm not sure if you guys are aware. Penny Hardaway did an interview the other day with media. I believe it was 3 days ago. They just started installing their defense and offensive schemes after 2 exhibition games. So they were literally just running around catching cardio, just playing NBA, just like they're playing 2K, just like, yeah, whatever, bring it up and try to make something happen. They were running nothing. I'm taking San Francisco. San Francisco lost that tough one on the road at Memphis last year. Now it's the return game. I'm taking San Fran to upset them here.
So
Memphis.
So you're saying Penny Hardaway not a good basketball coach?
Shocker, no, he's not.
I'll take the Dons. Neither you guys checked this game, so
I don't have an opinion on it. I feel like this number is kind of short for a reason. At least it was like under in possession when I looked, but. The only thing that worries me is, and the only reason I know this is because I'm a West Coast guy, is that San Francisco doesn't really play a lot of these away home games early. They're one of these teams that usually stacks a lot of home games early. So I'm a little bit worried about them going on the road, their first true game. I know that they played an unranked UC Santa Cruz team, but I do think this is a little bit more of a competition. I agree with Trevor, though. I'm not in love with Penny Hardaway. I'm not in love with this Memphis team at all. It's a pass for me.
All right. Next up, Vanderbilt UCF. Who checked this one?
Trevor.
Probably me.
Oh, what do you like here, Trevor?
Holy shit. Irvine's getting messed up by 17.
Hurry up and pick Vanderbilt, Trevor.
Yep, Vanderbilt.
I knew
Vanderbilt, Byington, great coach. They brought in a lot of talent. They retained a fair amount of talent last year. UCF, I have them towards the bottom of the Big 12. I don't think they're going to be very good this year. I get it's in the bounce house. It could cause some distractions in the bounce house, but I think these Vanderbilt boys are going to be focused and ready to go. Road game here, a chance to show out. I just think Vanderbilt's the much better team. They're laying a point on the road for a reason. Give me Vandy.
Anyone?
Couldn't agree more. One thing that jumps out to me is that UCF is significantly bigger. So maybe there's a pretty significant rebounding advantage for UCF. My issue is that we have a team in Vanderbilt who has proven over the last couple of years and in their first game, they don't really turn the ball over, and a UCF team that turns the ball over at one of the highest rates in the country. On top of all that, if one other thing that UCF has going for them is they're one of the more experienced teams in the country. Vanderbilt's more experienced, and Vanderbilt's much deeper as well. I don't understand why this number is so cheap, to be dead honest with you. Kind of weird.
It's 6.5. 6.5.
So my
6.5?
Oh, okay. I'm
So
like,
my
I
graphics
thought I
are
was
right.
tripping.
Lay it. I don't care. Lay it.
I was gonna say I was learning my graphics at 7.5. I thought my graphics were wrong.
I thought because there were so many
so-
games, I thought that I maybe just misremembered it or something.
You guys had me thinking my graphics were wrong. My graphics are fine.
Damn, Vandy -1 would have been sick.
I know. That's why I was like, how did I miss that? Like, what am I doing?
I like you.
I do
like
think
UCF.
Vandy wins this game, but I think this number is starting to get too big. Past 7.5, I think this is UCF. This is a really tough place to play. Good roster, ton of talent here. I think this number is a little high. I agree, Mark Byington, good coach though.
I'm playing -7 on Caesars right now, just for you guys.
UCF's the play. These guys didn't even know the line.
I did know the line. I had it circled. I was just confused when you changed it on there. That's why I was like, well, I thought I was missing
listening to TV Jones.
I know it's all good.
It's still
It's all
Vanderbilt.
screwed
Who
up.
gives a shit? Lay it.
Vanderbilt by 10 plus. That's all. That's all that matters.
Arkansas, Michigan State. Is this game in East Lansing?
Yep. Home game.
It's Arkansas here, guys.
Hey, Kyle knows a little bit of ball. It's hogs up.
It's definitely
Hogs
Arkansas.
up.
You don't bet on Izzo in this time of year.
That's right. It's not Izzo December, January, February.
January, February, Izzo.
Mm-hmm.
Arkansas.
Yep. They're still figuring the shit out. Our hogs up. Give me the hogs.
Everyone with us on the Hogs. Spoon?
Yeah, I have this one checked. I'm on Arkansas money line. If you look at the schedule for Michigan State going back the last 10 years, the first game, whether it be on the road, neutral, home, Michigan State drops that game. Same way as Patino builds a roster throughout the course of the year. Michigan State, you bet on them come March, not right now.
Let's go. It's toast? Hogs?
Yeah, I'm not betting it. But it would only be Arkansas for me. I just this Michigan State team, I think that they might be a little bit better than I gave them credit for. I'm not going to try to worry and get myself caught up in that Colgate game. But I think that Jeremy Fears is a very good baseball or basketball player. I think Carson Cooper is very good, and I think Cohen Carr might be one of the most underrated players in the country personally. So, and at any point, one of those guys can go off. So I like Arkansas a lot, but I do think that Michigan State kind of matches up well with them, and they are at home. And I kind of worry about Arkansas's defense just a little bit at times, and I don't think they force enough turnovers against this Michigan State team. So you can put Sparty up for me just because I'm going to be on an island here, just so I can screenshot this tomorrow. But I will not be betting this for the record, guys.
Yeah, it's a good investment by not betting it. All right, next up. Chattanooga, UNLV. Remember when Toast said UNLV was going to dog walk and they lost?
Guess what I did? I went a full unit, 1.1 units right back on the running Rebels off of that embarrassing loss to UT Martin. The world was on UT Martin. It was the dog of the day for everybody, and everybody got it. And now they're going to be what are you going to do? Are you going to fade UNLV again? Trevor's already been in my DMs talking about, oh, you can't lay points with Pastor. Well, you're going to play Chattanooga under 2 possessions. Well, it's not going to be I got 4.5. What is it? What is it now? It's not 50.
It's 5.
Okay, yeah. 5. I got 4.5. But you have Chattanooga, who's literally
Why does it
playing
say 15?
I don't
Football.
Definitely throwing me off.
But Chattanooga is literally playing basketball right now. And then they're going to have to hop on a plane and go play and then they're going to have to jump on a plane and then go play UNLV on the road in Vegas. Obviously, it's a short flight, but just an absolute terrible spot for them. Going to be playing 3 games in 5 days. And you have a UNLV team that I still believe is good. We'll see. Maybe they make me look like an absolute idiot. Wouldn't be crazy to me, but this doesn't make any sense to me. I think this number is probably 6.5 and 7 by the time this game tips tomorrow.
Trevor, do you think you can't lay points with this team? You're saying?
No, you can't lay points with Pastner. The face shield god. But there are circumstances, and this would be one of them. Toast already said them. Chattanooga 3rd game in 5 days. They're playing now. They're traveling back-to-back spot. This is just brutal. If Pastner and this team has any sense of pride, like in the least bit, they get up for this game. If they lose tomorrow, you just phone it home. It's over. Fade UNLV just like Green Bay every single game.
Agreed. I agree with that.
Spoon, any
Which
thoughts
got
on
home
it?
again tonight.
Any thoughts on this one,
Thank
Spoon?
God. Jesus.
It's a really good spot for UNLV. I think under normal circumstances, this line would be a little bit heavy sitting at 4.5. It should probably be closer to 2, but a team playing a back-to-back versus a team that had a few days ready to prep and just circle this. The preparation differences for both of these teams. I think this is a good number for UNLV. You can get the 4.5 on FanDuel still. It's interesting.
All right, last game on the board, and then we could do a rapid fire for the couple that were added late there. You got to play Sooners here, right?
I want to go last because I want to hear it because everybody
I'll go
assumes
first.
already know what they're going to go, what I'm going to go with.
So Gonzaga has a really cool name, a cool logo, well known. In terms of actual quality ball on the court, it's just not there.
Stop.
The product has come down. They're no longer the team to beat in the conference. There's St. Mary's, there's San Francisco, there's Pepperdine. I mean that conference has driven right past Gonzaga, and to lay double digits to the Sooners just doesn't feel right. This number should be maybe like I think Oklahoma -2.5 is where I would make this game. So at plus 11, it's a must. It's a must smash. Spoon, you're with me, right?
Sauce is a big Porter Moser supporter.
I don't think I'd make the line -2.5. I can't quite agree with that. I don't know. I think this might be a few too many points. Gonzaga definitely has the better team. They've built a really nice roster through the transfer portal this year, bringing in some great mid-major talent from across the country. I think Gonzaga could probably cover this, though. I'm not interested in this game getting on it. This Gonzaga team has a chance to be another Sweet 16 roster.
They always are.
Trev, you're with me, right? Sooners?
Yeah, no chance in hell. This is Gonzaga wins this game by 15 plus. Porter Moser is a fraud. This guy cannot win big games. He's the definition of a bum. He's skating by because Oklahoma wasn't a basketball school. You know, they had a couple of good seasons, and he's just hanging on for dear life, just going with the flow at this point. Oklahoma is not going to be in this game. This is a Gonzaga smash spot. Mark Few, disappointing year last year. Now you got Oklahoma coming to the – is this at the Kennel or is this
Nope.
that stupid-ass fucking arena?
Nope.
My bad. That stupid arena. This is still Gonzaga. Straight up, this place is gonna be rocking. This place is gonna be loud. Oklahoma is gonna be pissing down their leg. Gonzaga is gonna pull away and win this game by 15 plus.
All right, Toast is
2
on
words. Boomer Sooner, baby. Boomer Sooner plus 11.5. I've already bet it. Just an absolute terrible spot for Gonzaga coming off a game with Texas Southern where they had a huge second half, but really didn't look good in the first half. And now they play Oklahoma, not at home, in Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. That place will not be loud. It's not allowed for any event. Doesn't matter if it's a concert, monster trucks. It doesn't matter. That place does not get loud. I promise you that.
It's quiet.
On top of the fact that Gonzaga in 3 days has a home game against Creighton as well. So I'm really not in love with this spot for Gonzaga either. Oklahoma, a team that I'm not in love with Porter Moser either. And not that I take much from their win against St. Francis, but at the same time, I do think that they're going to be able to match up size-wise with them. I don't think that Gonzaga is going to have a huge rebounding advantage. Oklahoma's actually done a really good job of offensive rebounding. Both these teams hit free throws, but my thing is that if Gonzaga is not hitting the three ball, I think that Oklahoma is going to be in this game. And for me, I don't trust Gonzaga to hit the three balls consistently in Spokane Veterans Memorial Arena. They don't practice there. It's not like they get a whole bunch of shots up there. So I know they've played there in the past many times. I'm not trying to make it seem like it's going to be a road game or anything like that, but all the normal advantages that you normally have with this Gonzaga team in the kennel are all out the window in this game. I made this game 8, so getting 11.5, I had no choice but to take the Sooners.
Yeah, I feel like the market just refuses to accept that it's not 2017 anymore. Gonzaga is not the same. So,
we'll see.
All right, real quick.
The fact that a Gonzaga fan is fading his own team makes me love Gonzaga even more.
I'm just a professional, Trevor. I don't really take into bias. I just look at the game.
It's just a professional. Yeah, Trevor.
Hey, I bet against Wisconsin today. What does that say?
Say what does that say? It says you're going through an emotional tornado and you're in a tailspin.
Did you call your therapist before or after the game?
Spoon, real quick. You also checked Pacific Nevada. They can't see it, but real quick, rapid fire. What do you like there?
It was Seattle Cal Poly is what was supposed to be checked. Seattle, undervalued team out there on the West Coast. One of the late night 10 o'clock games to wrap your evening up. You can get -8.5 right now. I think this number closes above 10. This should probably be close to 12. That's what Ken Palm has the number built at. Cal Poly had a pretty decent roster last year, managed to have some nice upset wins. I think a lot of people remember that, and maybe that's why this number opened short. But Seattle always comes out with really good defense. That's a really nice home court advantage they have there. I think this is a 10-point game by half, and they extend that by the end of the game.
Seattle -8.5 you can get. All right, everyone, I got to get back to work on the college football video. Be up a little bit later. Same as always, going through a bunch of them. So everyone have a good...
We're going live on Pump Fake.
You're going live right now?
Pretty much right now, yeah, within like 5 minutes.
So there's a lot of games on tomorrow. We went through like 8 or 9. They're going to go through 1 billion. So if you want to keep watching, actually, I'm going to throw it on. I'll be in the chat, Trev, while I'm working. So I'll throw it on.
Sounds good.
So that's Pump Fake Pod. Trevor's TV Jones and his guys, they're going live right now. I'll type it in there. Pump Fake Pod, like that. All right, I'll be in the comments, Trevor.
All right, sounds good, fellas.